help evolve improve the practices across the life cycle of a SOC. And this is the last one, so you guys can carry on your day after this session. Okay, so obviously there's a misalignment as we talked about earlier. I mean, even it was a staggering all the stats that Deloitte threw up on the screen as well. So what we did it on a report and what they did on theirs kind of went together, and we did not jointly put these decks together at all. And it was a consistent message. Funny thing, before I go into this, he showed that Baltimore ransomware issue. As I've been here in Madrid this week, I live in Arizona, and a town just outside next to where I live actually just got hit with ransomware this week. It was a school that got taken down. They had to send the kids home and the teachers. The school is locked down. All the servers are encrypted. They have no way to conduct the school. It's live happening as we speak. So it's real deal. Okay, so 86% believe that SOC is critical. We talked about that earlier. But when asked, is it aligned to the business strategy, only 51 say it is. Well, that's a problem. The impact on SecOps is too real. So if you look at these, every single one of these, Demisto and Devo just eliminated automatically, did they not? Every one of them. I had full visibility. You saw what was in Devo. I had automation. I mean, high volume of false positive. There was nothing false in there. That was the live forensic artifacts of exactly what happened. There wasn't false positives of alarms. There was no repetition and analyst frustration. I didn't touch the keyboard. It was, we found it, we detected it, we stopped it, we recorded all the forensic artifacts. Nice little pretty bow, you're awesome, was presented on the screen. I didn't have to do nothing. So, simplify pouring more money. That's not what you need. You need the right technologies with the right playbooks and the right components all integrated seamlessly together. Throwing more tools at the problem and people at the problem doesn't mean you're going to be safe. You got to have the right people, the right processes, and the right technology. Collect less data and leave the expertise exposed? No. You want to collect all data, right? And reduce the exposure. Deal with late night and analyst frustrations due to slow access to data? Well, how slow was that access to that data? It was in my screen in sub-second time. The detection happened so fast that when I accidentally stopped the monitor, it was already stopped and remediated before I could even get the monitor screen back up. There's no slowness there. That was sub-second timing. Fly blind without context and scale. Did I miss any context in that Devo dashboard? I had more context than I knew what to do with. Every single thing that happened in that incident was recorded, logged, and live in my dashboard. I'm missing no context. So, new approach. All your data. We want everything. There should be no blind spots. Throw automatic enrichment and context on top of your data to provide the results like I just showed you. Detection and alerts, you saw that, blazing fast. Threat intelligence really wasn't part of this equation, but we have a huge, when I talked about earlier the limitations of other tools of handling large volumes of too many IOCs or threat intelligence, that is not an issue for the Devo platform. To us, that's just another data source. It's like the Palo Alto firewall. We can suck all that thing it produces all day long, just like we can billions of records of threat intelligence. It's just another data source for us. Behavioral analytics, analyst insight and workflow. The workflow, look at that. We had our playbook executed against the Demisto playbook seamlessly. We stopped them. To giving the better insight, you saw the insight we got for security analytics and then orchestration and automation. You hook us, you hook Demisto, go play golf. You're safe. Evolution of the SIM. What we're kind of unveiling at Devo is the next gen of a SIM, okay? We're not gonna be another, just a log correlation engine that has an alert dashboard. No one wants another one of those. What the next gen security operations centers want is critical pieces done automatically by the SIM. like we just saw in this example. Behavioral analytics, community collaboration. Devo has an underlying infrastructure that can actually allow internal users to share intelligence, to share it amongst Devo community, to share it across the globe, depending on how you want to do it. Providing analyst insight, right? So if I did this case and I chose these workflows, I like that example, hit save, execute the playbook. Now I don't have to deal with that ever again. It's all done automatically. But it learned by what we did. Adaptive dynamic playbook creation. We just saw a live in action orchestration and automation between the two powerful technologies, okay? And make it easy. I don't want to have to manage servers. I don't want to have to manage boxes. Make it all cloud. Let's just have the magic Wizard of Oz up behind the curtain doing all the management. Just give me the visibility and the capability. So the role of the security automation and orchestration engine, right? Playbooks, we just saw it. Runbooks, workflows, right? Control, activating the security product stack from a central location. Perfect. Devo's the data lake in the middle. The Misto is all hooked around it with all the different hooks and connections. I mean, I couldn't ask for a more efficient detection and response plan that I just saw live executed. The automation, again, I didn't do any action. I was more typing as the hacker, and then I'm like, boom, I'm stopped in my tracks. What the heck? I can't even connect to the box anymore. It just magically disappeared. What's going on? I guess I'll move on to somewhere else. Response, killed the processes I executed, contained the box. Can't ask for better response. All the forensic artifacts were automatically collected. Can't ask for better orchestration, automation, and response. Between the two, you couldn't ask for anything better. Literally, and I've been doing this for a long time. I wish I had this in my SOCs, but I moved on before that happened. So guiding analyst insight to action, right? Turning the intuition into automated, repeatable actions. So again, if I ever saw an attack like just happened, I don't have to ever deal with it. Playbooks in place, visibility's in place, dashboards are in place. I leave it alone. I'll move on to something that's more important for me. I got you, guy. You're never going to break my border. Bring the data together, right? Everything. So I have that full visibility that you just saw. Magnifying the intuition to improve identification, triage, and investigation. I'm not having to go outside of Devo. I'm not having to say, okay, copy this, put it in another tool, copy this, put it in another tool, the swivel chair IR, never necessary. It's all in Devo. So when you're looking about how we fit into the ecosystem, any data you have, I don't care what the data is, I want it. Bring it into Devo, no matter what it is. Obviously, encrypt the communications to send it to the infrastructure of this operations. And of course, you can log into the Devo console and query, do your I can't speak. Analytics, or via the RESTful API like you just saw with Demisto, orchestrated, automated. Make it very easy to use. So I'm not going to go through all these in the essence of time. I know we've been here a long time. We will share these with you guys, but this is how Devo absolutely accomplishes that goal. There's zero compromise to this architecture. We don't, more data the better. It's not like other SIMs and solutions out there where you're throwing tens of terabytes per day at it. The responses come to a screeching halt. The hunting becomes unusable. The detection times are very slow, right? And then you start stacking correlation, old school correlation rules on top of that. I mean, now you're looking at hours for an alert to be generated instead of sub-second like you just saw. Okay? And a big one before I move on is this. As an investigator, I always want my data available to me. I never want to ask. Remember that? I never want to ask. And if I got to go and say, I just saw this activity happen, I want to go back 6 months ago and look at every asset and see if there's been any traces of this new thing seen before. I want to go back a year ago. It's all hot in Devo. Everything's hot all the time. I don't have to ask for a restoration of an old tape. Screw that. It's not effective. It's not efficient to me. So, magnifying the intuition to improve identification, triage, and investigation. It's always around the insight, real-time, historical, entity analytics, alerting, and seamless intelligence integration like you just saw. Action, you just saw it. Automatic orchestration and automation, full insight. Everything was recorded and provided to me, and the workflows, that playbook was ridiculous. If do this, do that. If this, that. Do this, do that. All done automatically. So you pretty much saw this in action, right? Devo does the query, Demisto does the query, right? We're recording, alerting, sending it to Demisto. Demisto's like, okay, got my action. I need a little more intelligence for the case. Go back to Devo. I want the login history. I want the user commands ran. I want the ports, whatever. So I can add it to the evidence items in my playbook. Now that can provide, obviously, the SOC data analytics or produce reports, whether it was whatever utility you want to use to do that. So we're doing all the automatic enrichment, bringing in, now Demisto has threat intelligence repositories as well, so when you got them doing theirs, ours doing ours, double checking, cross-checking, cross-correlating, I've got full visibility into anything I need. So, to wrap it up, this is the last slide. Devo, Demisto, standardized scale and process, reduce that alert fatigue, right? From tens of thousands to 500. I mean, I've seen in organizations that have millions of alerts per day, but then they started bringing in something like this. Now, if I've got 30 analysts in my SOC, 500 is an attainable goal. If I only have them do 100 alerts a day, and actually out of the 100 alerts, 80 of them were automatically resolved, and I only got to do 15, that's very, very acceptable to me as a SOC manager. Lower the response times with automation. I didn't have any response. I just viewed what happened. I never had to go to another product. I just looked in the Devo dashboard, or I could even do it in the Demisto dashboard because we sent the forensic artifacts right back to Demisto as well. Reduce those response times from days, from old school days to minutes, if not seconds for that matter. Coordinate actions across all products and automate most of it within, I could actually save one full-time employee just by hooking these two products together. Any questions? Any comments? Feedback? Give me something. Did you like what you saw? Not the Devo people. Okay, guys, I hope you liked what you saw. I hope you enjoyed the time spent with us this morning and into the afternoon now. If you want to see more, of course, we'd love to have conversations. Continue the journey, continue the conversations. Please don't hesitate to reach out. And again, thank you for your time.